2.25 लाख से हमने संगरूर जीता। होशियारपुर हमने बीजेपी से सीट जो है वो हमने छीन ली, और अनंतपुर साहब हमारी नई सीट है, और तीनों हमारे बहुत अच्छे बुला रहे हैं। ऑलरेडी उन्होंने पहले सेशन में बोल के अपना आग्रह, अपनी पहचान बना ली है।
The Aam Aadmi Party also came down heavily on the Haryana government.
पिछले 10 साल से हरियाणा में डबल इंजन की सरकार चल रही है।
Sanjay Singh, AAP Rajya Sabha MP, also underlined the party's long-term electoral plans at a press conference.
10 साल में इस डबल इंजन की सरकार ने हरियाणा को क्या दिया है, ये बहुत महत्वपूर्ण सवाल है। हरियाणा के सड़कों पे हमने लाठियां चलते हुए देखी। हरियाणा के किसानों को किस तरीके से आंदोलन में कुचला गया, ये हमने देखा। पंजाब हरियाणा के किसानों की मांगों को किस तरीके से रौंदा गया, ये हमने देखा। हरियाणा में बेरोजगारी एक बहुत बड़ी समस्या है। अग्निवीर योजना इस देश के साथ धोखा है, वो वापस होना चाहिए। ये हमारा इस चुनाव में भी मुद्दा होगा। हरियाणा के अंदर सभी सीटों पर आम आदमी पार्टी मजबूती से चुनाव लड़ेगी।
Singh said Kejriwal will bring a chance to Haryana's political landscape like he did in Punjab and Delhi.
आम आदमी पार्टी से एक उम्मीद है लोगों को, तो एक बहुत अच्छा नारा अपने बेटे, अपने लाल के लिए हरियाणा की जनता ने दिया है, बदलेंगे हरियाणा का हाल, अब लाएंगे केजरीवाल।
Senior AAP members stressed the party's emergence as a national player.
आम आदमी पार्टी एक नेशनल पार्टी बन चुकी है। जब से हमने गुजरात में 14% वोट हासिल किए, तब से ऑफिशियली इलेक्शन कमीशन द्वारा आम आदमी पार्टी एक नेशनल पार्टी है, और सिर्फ 10 साल में नेशनल पार्टी बनी है। फास्टेस्ट ग्रोइंग पार्टी है। 2 स्टेटों में हमारी सरकार है, तो एक बहुत अच्छी हाजिरी लोकतंत्र के सभी संस्थाओं में हमारी है।
After announcing their plan to go solo, AAP cited cultural similarities between Delhi and Haryana.
हरियाणा के लोग जो हैं वो बदलाव चाहते हैं, और सबसे बड़ी बात यह है कि कल्चर मिलता है। पंजाब का, दिल्ली का, हरियाणा से कल्चर मिलता है। तो सबसे बड़ी बात यह है कि केजरीवाल साहब हरियाणा से बिलोंग करते हैं।
While the AAP lays out its expansion plan in Haryana foray, the big question remains: will it put an end to the duopoly of the BJP and Congress in the state or not?
In a shocking incident, popular vlogger and travel influencer Anvi Kamdar fell to her death while filming a reel near a waterfall in Maharashtra's Raigad district. The blogger apparently slipped while shooting the reel and rolled down a deep gorge at least 300 feet down. Here's a report.
Internet sensation and popular travel vlogger met a tragic end after she fell into a gorge while shooting a reel in Maharashtra. Vlogger Anvi Kamdar was visiting the Raigad district of Maharashtra when the tragic incident took place. The vlogger left for a fun outing with 7 friends on July 16. Anvi was filming the reel along with her friends when she suddenly slipped and rolled down a gorge 300 feet deep. The incident took place near the Kumbhe waterfalls of Raigad, where she was shooting the reel. The death of the Instagram sensation should serve as a lesson for vloggers who recklessly risk their lives for daring stunt.
A consumer had the shock of his life after seeing a swarm of white worms crawling inside a carton of Amul's high-protein buttermilk that he purchased. The latest in a series of such incidents has raised concerns on the makers of food and dairy items taking their consumers for a ride. Here's a report.
Startled and shocked after finding worms in his buttermilk pack, the consumer sends out a stinging social media post. Consumer calls out Amul after white worms crawl out of his buttermilk pack. urges people to stop buying products manufactured by the dairy giant. Consumer Tags is posted with images and a short clip of the buttermilk pack with worms crawling all over it while sharing his unpleasant experience. In a similar incident earlier, a consumer was terrified to find a severed human finger inside an ice cream cone. The severed finger was discovered by a Mumbai doctor who ordered the ice cream cone. With several such unpleasant consumer experiences coming to the fore, it is high time the government cracked the whip on the manufacturers and ensured compliance with standards.
Amid the continuing outrage over the Porsche hit-and-run horror, a similar incident has been reported from Pune. Saurabh Gaikwad, son of former Pune Deputy Mayor and NCP Sharad Pawar leader Bandhu Gaikwad, allegedly rammed his SUV into a tempo transporting chickens, causing severe injuries. Watch this report.
One after the other. First, the Pune Porsche case. And now, another instance of hit-and-run horror. Two people brutally injured. The son of former Pune Deputy Mayor and NCP Sharad Chandra Pawar leader Bandhu Gaikwad rammed his SUV into a tempo transporting chickens. The man behind the wheel was Saurabh Gaikwad, the son of NCP SCP leader. A video of the speeding SUV ramming into an approaching truck carrying chickens has gone viral on social media. All three involved in the accident were rushed to hospital where they are currently undergoing treatment. As Pune draws infamy over another harrowing hit-and-run case, concerns over road safety mount.
Amid the crackdown on her daughter for faking disability certificates to secure a posting, the mother of entitled trainee IAS Pooja Khedkar has been arrested. The arrest of Manorama Khedkar follows a viral clip in which she was seen wielding a gun. Here's a report with all the latest updates.
Amid the heat on Pooja Khedkar, whose IAS training was cancelled over alleged fake disability certificates, her mother has now been arrested. After a brief cat-and-mouse game with the police, Manorama Khedkar was picked up from a Raigad hotel where she was reportedly hiding. Pune Rural Police launched searches in Pathardi, Ahmednagar and Mumbai for Pooja's parents, Manorama and Dilip. Pune Rural SP Pankaj Deshmukh said Manorama was detained in connection with a case registered last Friday.
सुबह में महाड़ से डिटेन किया है. शी इज़ ऑन हर वे और अब उनसे इंक्वायरी करेंगे. उसके बाद फर्दर लीगल एक्शन उनके खिलाफ ली जाएगी. एक होटल में वो पाई गई है और हमने उनको इंक्वायरी के लिए हमारे साथ हमारी टीम उनको लेकर आ रही है. जो भी लीगल एक्शन होगी उनके ऊपर.
According to reports, Manorama was arrested for possessing an illegal firearm. According to police, Manorama Khedkar was hiding in a lodge near the Raigad fort. With Pooja recalled to Mussoorie Academy and her mother now in custody, trouble is only mounting for the Khedkar family.
The U.S. Secret Service, along with its federal, state, and local law enforcement and public safety partners, work together to design security plans for national special security events.
The officers observed a subject armed with a knife in each hand engaged in an altercation with another unarmed individual. The officers identified themselves as police officers and made several commands to the suspect to drop the knife. The subject refused these commands and charged at the other individual with the knives. At this time, several officers discharged their firearms, subsequently striking the suspect. This is a situation where somebody's life was in immediate danger. Again, 2 knives were recovered from this particular situation. Someone's life was in danger. These officers, who are not from this area, took upon themselves to act to save someone's life today.
Following the failed assassination attempt on Donald Trump, concerns are now mounting over a pattern of inflammatory rhetoric against PM Modi, raising fears of a Pennsylvania rerun. BJP leaders Sudhanshu Trivedi and Ravi Shankar Prasad have slammed the opposition for making inflammatory comments against PM Modi. Here's a report.
After Donald Trump's failed assassination bid, concerns over inflammatory rhetoric against Prime Minister Modi is on the rise. Various labels and accusations have time and again been leveled at the former United States president. They said he does not abide by democratic ideals. They even compared him to tyrants like Mussolini and Hitler. However, the vitriolic taunts and verbal assault on Donald Trump have now fueled a similar rhetoric in India. The hateful rhetoric against Prime Minister Narendra Modi has emerged as a big concern. These are some of the problematic comments hurled at the Prime Minister on a daily basis. BJP leaders Ravi Shankar Prasad and Sudhanshu Trivedi expressed their concerns about the rising hate against Prime Minister Modi.
अमेरिका के राष्ट्रपति पद के उम्मीदवार श्री डोनाल्ड ट्रंप, जो पूर्व राष्ट्रपति भी हैं, जानलेवा हमला हुआ। भारत के प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी को जिस प्रकार से टारगेट किया जाता है, उससे हिंसा बढ़ सकती है उनके ऊपर, यह आशंका है और इसके प्रमाण भी हैं।
अमेरिका में राष्ट्रपति पद के प्रत्याशी डोनाल्ड ट्रंप के ऊपर हत्या का अटेम्प्ट हुआ, जिसमें वो बाल बाल बचे। एक दुखद परंतु चिंताजनक बात यह है कि प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के विरुद्ध
As accusations and comparisons continue to escalate, for how long will the far-reaching consequences of inflammatory rhetoric be ignored?
Minister Narendra Modi is all set to hold a crucial meeting today in the evening at the BJP headquarters with the BJP workers, and this is quite significant ahead of the UP by-polls and the assembly elections in Maharashtra and Haryana this very year. Stay tuned, viewers. We will get you all the details and the rolling coverage will continue on this.
Supreme Court pulls up NTA over NEET 2024. NTA asked to declare NEET results. All this and more on This Is Exclusive at 7 p.m. today.
The U.S. Secret Service, along with its federal, state, and local law enforcement and public safety partners, work together to design security plans for national special security events.
officers observed a subject armed with a knife in each hand engaged in an altercation with another unarmed individual. The officers identified themselves as police officers and made several commands to the suspect to drop the knife. The subject refused these commands and charged at the other individual with the knives. At this time, several officers discharged their firearms, subsequently striking the suspect. This is a situation where somebody's life was in immediate danger. Again, 2 knives were recovered from this particular situation. Someone's life was in danger. These officers, who are not from this area, took upon themselves to act to save someone's life today.
Chandigarh-Dibrugarh Express derails in Uttar Pradesh's Gonda. Official sources say at least 4 casualties reported. All-out operation in Jammu and Kashmir. 2 terrorists neutralized in Kupwara. Search operation on in Doda and Punch.
कि भारत के प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी को जिस प्रकार से टारगेट किया जाता है, उससे हिंसा बढ़ सकती है। दुनिया के सबसे लोकप्रिय नेता पर उत्तेजना से भरी टिप्पणी करके हम हिंसक तत्वों को प्रोत्साहित न करें।
BJP cautions opposition over provocative statements against Prime Minister after assassination bid on Trump. Supreme Court directs the National Testing Agency to declare results of NEET UG 2024 by 12 noon on Saturday. After Srinagar and Darbhanga, Palestinian flags raised in Bengal's Murshidabad now. US President Joe Biden tests positive for COVID-19 while traveling to Vegas. Biden to self-isolate in Delaware residence. All right, significant development there coming in from Doda. A fierce encounter is currently underway between security forces and terrorists, and we are getting reports that at least 2 of those terrorists have been neutralized. The operation is taking place in the upper reaches of Gadchiroli, where terrorists had fired upon the forces after being trapped in a meticulously laid cordon operation. In fact, a similar operation is going on in Kupwara, where also more than 2 terrorists have been neutralized. Let's try to understand what's happening on the ground. Zeenat first, she's reporting live from Kupwara. Zeenat, over to you. How long has this encounter been going on, and what is the latest you can share with us in terms of the terrorists neutralized there?
See, as far as this encounter in Kupwara's Keren sector is concerned, it's going on for the last 6 hours. Now we are the first gunshot between the security forces and terrorists were reported around 12:50, and the first body was recovered around 1:15, and the second body after 1 hour at 2:15. The dead bodies along with arms and ammunition that have been recovered from the encounter spot, because the security forces, the credible lead had come to J&K police about the moment of infiltration, and accordingly we see that the forces were pushed to the particular patch of this Kupwara Keren sector where the joint forces carried this operation. The infiltration bid has been successfully foiled. You remember that on 14th of July also the infiltration bid was foiled by the Indian Army in Kupwara's Keren sector, where the 3 heavily armed terrorists were neutralized. Dead bodies and the arms and ammunitions too were recovered. As far as the present operation is concerned, this anti-terror operation is still taking place here in the Keren sector, which is again, if we go from the Kupwara to to Keren, again it's a distance of around 60 plus kilometers, because this is the rugged terrain, and these operations usually face difficulty because of the challenging atmosphere. One is the challenge of the rugged terrains, and then the heavily armed terrorists. So that are usually the challenge, the obstacles that the security forces face when they have to do these operations which are near the line of control. We have been seeing that Pakistan is pushing infiltration along the line of control to disrupt and destabilize the Jammu and Kashmir, to disrupt the peace on the ground. But we are seeing even they are trying to challenge the India's security situation, but we are seeing the body blow coming to the joint to this terror, to Pakistani terrorists and the Pakistan itself by these joint forces. And we see the kind of synergy, because overall in these operations, whether that had taken place in the Kupwara, Keren, or in Uri or other this near the LC front, we have seen maximum times that the infiltration bid was successfully foiled, and also the arms and ammunition along with the dead bodies have been recovered. This is the second infiltration bid that has been foiled in less than 4 days in the Keren sector, where the 2 dead bodies have been recovered by the Indian Army, though operation is conducted jointly by Jammu and Kashmir Police along with 6RR.
Right, Jeenat. In fact, let's go to Doda also. Gursimran joins us live, and he has been there since the last couple of days that the encounter broke out about 48 hours back. Gursimran, how close are we to eliminating the entire module of those terrorists who have come into that region, and what's the latest on the ground?
See, Abhishek, if we speak of the ongoing operations in the Doda, the terrorists are still at large. The locations are being identified by the small teams of the Jammu and Kashmir Police along with the Indian Army. As we speak, the White Knight Corps commander is in Doda. He's being briefed at the headquarters of the Rashtra Rifle unit located in the Doda. And apart from the ground commanders, he's also being briefed by some of the local officers that were part of the Jammu and Kashmir Police and were part of the operations that are being carried out. What we are being told that the senior functionaries are keeping a close watch. The senior commanders are also keeping a close watch on the situation that is developing, including the Northern Army commander and the army chief himself, because he has been the former Northern Army commander and is well aware of the situation and the difficulties that the troops are facing while conducting these operations. Yesterday also, it's a daily briefing being done to the army chief. That is what we are being told. Apart from this, when it comes to the operations, yes, the terrorists are still in this area. There are 3 to 4 splinter groups of the terrorists. All are freshly infiltrated terrorists of Jaish-e-Mohammed that are carrying out these kind of attacks. Now the security forces say that their new tactics that they have devised to go on a chase for these terrorists with smaller groups, that will help them, and it has to be seen how things actually pan out. But the most concerning part is the infiltration reports that are being given by the CID or by the Central Intelligence Agencies to the J&K government as well as the MHA, that a regular infiltration is taking place, and the number of terrorists, the local terrorist is still at 4, but the number of the Pakistani terrorists in the Jammu region is somewhere between 50 to 60. That means there is a rise of 10 to 15 terrorists in last couple of weeks. That is really concerning. And not only in the Doda, Kishtwar or the nearby districts of Udhampur and Kathua, but also Rajouri and Poonch continues to be on the alert, because there also the 3 to 5 Lashkar groups are already there.
Right, clearly an area of concern there with the increased number of terrorists getting found on the south side of Pir Panjal, the Jammu region, and as Gursimran suggests that the number could be in the range of 50 to 60. These are foreign terrorists, obviously, which means infiltration has happened, and at the soonest that the security forces get to grips with it, the better, even as the nation backs all efforts to flush those terrorists out of those mountain ranges. In fact, we'll keep close track of those developments insofar as those encounters are concerned, both in Doda and Kupwara. But for now, moving on to the tragedy in Gonda, Uttar Pradesh, where the Chandigarh-Dibrugarh Express met with an accident. In fact, as many as 8 bogies of the train derailed sometime in the afternoon, leading to at least 4 passengers losing their lives and about 100 odd getting injured. And these passengers obviously were headed to Assam because the train was Chandigarh-Dibrugarh Express, and while the administration has pressed relief and rescue operations, which are going on in full swing. Both the Ministry of Railways and the state government coordinating. There are concerns with the people, relatives of those passengers who were on board, and so let's try to understand what arrangements are being made in Guwahati, for example, where the train was destined to. Anirudh joins us live from Guwahati. Anirudh, can you tell us the latest in terms of the arrangements made by the railways to connect the passengers who were on board and with their concerned family members, relatives, as also what's the latest in terms of the number of those who might have got injured and are being treated at hospitals near to Gonda?
Yes, Abhishek, headline numbers have been issued for the passengers who were traveling by this train from Chandigarh to Dibrugarh, and in fact we have also got a list of confirmed passengers who were traveling on this train. There were 36 passengers who were supposed to get down at various stations in Assam. They were on board this train, which might have been accident in Gonda, and we are also getting to know that the electrical train is being arranged from a nearby station to Dibrugarh, and this train will be having the stoppages as the train number 15904 is concerned. The passengers who are stable, the passengers who have sustained injuries but are not in critical condition will be facilitated to board another train, and they will be headed to their respective destinations here in You can give the details. You can give out the details of the train is being arranged from Manakpur.
Train is being arranged from Manakpur station near Gonda, and by a special bus, all the passengers who met with an accidents in Gonda who were traveling on this Chandigarh-Dibrugarh Express train number 15904, they are being facilitated to go to Manakpur, from where they will be boarding another train, Abhishek.
All right, arrangements being put in place to get the passengers to their final destination, which was Guwahati, at least those who are not injured and can travel. Thank you so much, Anirudh, for that update. Moving on, let's look at some other stories from across the country in a wrap of Bharat in 2 minutes. BBMP officials arrived at the mall where a farmer Fakkarappa was recently denied entry. They are currently waiting outside to take action against the mall authorities. The mall hasn't been shut down yet, as they are waiting for senior officials to arrive at the scene. The incident occurred on Tuesday evening when farmer Fakkarappa from Haveri district, along with his family, was denied entry to the GT World Mall due to his dhoti attire. The incident went viral on social media, leading to widespread outrage. In Gadchiroli, the police have thwarted an attempt by Maoists to carry out subversive activities ahead of the upcoming Naxal week. 3 senior cadres, along with 5 area committee members and 4 Dhalam members, have been neutralized. 11 weapons, including 7 automatic ones, were seized. This exchange of fire has wiped out the entire Kochi, Tripgarh and Chatgaon, Kasnoor, LOS, clearing North Gadchiroli of armed Maoist formations. Samajwadi Party Chief Akhilesh Yadav, in a cryptic post on X, has taken swipe at Uttar Pradesh BJP unit with a monsoon offer amid rumours of an alleged rift between Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath and his deputy Keshav Prasad Maurya. Akhilesh Yadav's remark come amid tensions between state cabinet and the party organisation following the BJP's less than expected performance in the recent Lok Sabha elections. In Chandigarh, the Aam Aadmi Party held a press conference on the upcoming assembly elections in Haryana. Bhagwant Mann announced that the party will contest elections all over India. In fact, he mentioned that they have already won seats in the Lok Sabha from his state.
तो हमारी पार्टी ने फैसला किया है कि आने वाले दिनों में हरियाणा में इलेक्शन आ रही है, तो आम आदमी पार्टी पूरी ताकत से हरियाणा की इलेक्शन लड़ेगी विधानसभा की, क्योंकि दिल्ली में हमारी सरकार है, पंजाब में हमारी सरकार है। तो हम लोग बड़े खुश हैं इस बात से कि हमारी पार्टी जो है वो डे बाय डे कहीं ना कहीं कोई ना कोई चुनाव होता है तो आम आदमी पार्टी जो है लड़ेगी।
All right, it's been 9 months since the war started between Hamas and Israel following the October 7 attack by Hamas in the southern part of Israel. And this is the first time perhaps that India has very clearly and asked for an immediate and complete ceasefire on the war in the troubled Middle East at the United Nations. Listen in.
And the continuing humanitarian crisis.
India has reiterated its call for an immediate and complete ceasefire in the Gaza Strip at the United Nations.
It has been 9 months since the Israel-Hamas conflict, and the continuing humanitarian crisis is deeply concerning. India was among the countries which strongly and unequivocally condemned the terror attacks on Israel on 7th October 2023. We reiterate the call for an immediate, full and complete ceasefire, safe, timely and sustained humanitarian assistance and unrestricted access to relief and essential humanitarian services in the Gaza Strip. In addition, we also call for immediate and unconditional release of all hostages. Towards this end, we appreciate the role played by countries in the region, particularly Qatar and Egypt. Our leadership has continued to engage with the leadership of both Israel and Palestine. We have consistently reiterated our position in all the relevant multilateral fora.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi is all set to hold a crucial meeting today in the evening at the BJP headquarters with the BJP workers, and this is quite significant ahead of the UP by-polls and the assembly elections in Maharashtra and Haryana this very year. Stay tuned, viewers. We will get you all the details and the rolling coverage will continue on this.
In the global employability rankings by Times Higher Education UK, only the following 6 institutions from India are ranked amongst the top 230 in the world for having the most employable graduates. IIT Delhi, IISc Bangalore, IIT Bombay, IIM Ahmedabad, IIT Kharagpur and Amity University.
Creating a world using sapphire to power change. Manufacturing semiconductors by resident Indians. India, pushing boundaries of possibility and innovating a brighter tomorrow. Semiconductors from India, now from Polymatic.
The Republic Media Network is very proud to partner with Kitply, a well-known name in the Indian plywood industry, which has just launched Kitply BioBond, a product that helps you breathe better and live better.
My fellow Republicans, President Trump asked me to speak to this convention in the name of unity. It was a gracious invitation, and I was happy to accept. I'll start by making one thing perfectly clear. Donald Trump has my strong endorsement, period. our country is at a critical
Welcome back. Signaling the collapse of the India alliance in Haryana, the Aam Aadmi Party has announced that it will go solo in all 90 seats in the state that goes to polls later this year. Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann made this announcement, stressing his party's plans to extend its footprint beyond Punjab. Senior AAP members have also hit out at the BJP government, citing rising unemployment and farmer distress. This comes a day after Deepinder Hooda of the Congress party also expressed similar sentiments and suggested that the Congress would in fact go alone. Have a look at this report.
AAP makes a big electoral announcement ahead of the upcoming Haryana Assembly elections. Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann reveals that the Aam Aadmi Party will be contesting all the 90 seats in the upcoming Haryana polls.
हरियाणा में इलेक्शन आ रही है तो आम आदमी पार्टी पूरी ताकत से हरियाणा की इलेक्शन लड़ेगी विधानसभा की, क्योंकि हरियाणा ने हर एक पार्टी को टाइम दे दिया, हर एक पार्टी को, नॉट ओनली बीजेपी एंड कांग्रेस, लोकल पार्टी क्षेत्रीय पार्टियों को भी टाइम दिया, लेकिन किसी ने भी हरियाणा के लोगों के साथ वफा नहीं की.
Hinting that the AAP may look beyond its tie-up with the Congress, Mann adds that his party will be contesting elections all over the country.
हम लोग बड़े खुश हैं इस बात से कि हमारी पार्टी जो है वो डे बाय डे कहीं ना कोई चुनाव होता है तो आम आदमी पार्टी जो है लड़ेगी. लोकसभा में भी हमने 3 ऐसे, संगरूर हमारा जो 2.25 लाख से हमने संगरूर जीता, होशियारपुर हमने बीजेपी से सीट जो है वो हमने छीन ली, और अनंतपुर साहब हमारी नई सीट है, और तीनों हमारे बहुत अच्छे बुला रहे हैं. ऑलरेडी उन्होंने पहले सेशन में बोल के अपना आग्रह, अपनी पहचान बना ली है.
The Aam Aadmi Party also came down heavily on the Haryana government.
पिछले 10 साल से हरियाणा में डबल इंजन की सरकार चल रही है.
Sanjay Singh, AAP Rajya Sabha MP, also underlined the party's long-term electoral plans at a press conference.
10 साल में इस डबल इंजन की सरकार ने हरियाणा को क्या दिया है, ये बहुत महत्वपूर्ण सवाल है. हरियाणा के सड़कों पे हमने लाठियां चलते हुए देखी. हरियाणा के किसानों को किस तरीके से आंदोलन में कुचला गया, ये हमने देखा. पंजाब हरियाणा के किसानों की मांगों को किस तरीके से रौंदा गया, ये हमने देखा. हरियाणा में बेरोजगारी एक बहुत बड़ी समस्या है. अग्निवीर योजना इस देश के साथ धोखा है, वो वापस होना चाहिए. ये हमारा इस चुनाव में भी मुद्दा होगा. हरियाणा के अंदर सभी सीटों पर आम आदमी पार्टी मजबूती से चुनाव लड़ेगी.
Singh said Kejriwal will bring a chance to Haryana's political landscape like he did in Punjab and Delhi.
आम आदमी पार्टी से एक उम्मीद है लोगों को, तो एक बहुत अच्छा नारा अपने बेटे, अपने लाल के लिए हरियाणा की जनता ने दिया है, बदलेंगे हरियाणा का हाल, अब लाएंगे केजरीवाल.
Senior AAP members stressed the party's emergence as a national player.
आम आदमी पार्टी एक नेशनल पार्टी बन चुकी है. जब से हमने गुजरात में 14% वोट हासिल किए, तब से ऑफिशियली इलेक्शन कमीशन द्वारा आम आदमी पार्टी एक नेशनल पार्टी है, और सिर्फ 10 साल में नेशनल पार्टी बनी है. फास्टेस्ट ग्रोइंग पार्टी है. 2 स्टेटों में हमारी सरकार है, तो एक बहुत अच्छी हाजिरी लोकतंत्र के सभी संस्थाओं में हमारी है.
After announcing their plan to go solo, AAP cited cultural similarities between Delhi and Haryana.
हरियाणा के लोग जो हैं वो बदलाव चाहते हैं, और सबसे बड़ी बात यह है कि कल्चर मिलता है. पंजाब का, दिल्ली का, हरियाणा से कल्चर मिलता है. तो सबसे बड़ी बात यह है कि केजरीवाल साहब हरियाणा से बिलोंग करते हैं.
While the AAP lays out its expansion plan in Haryana foray, the big question remains: will it put an end to the duopoly of the BJP and Congress in the state or not?
Let's Look at some stories from across the world in an international wrap. Donald Trump's running mate, J.D. Vance, delivered his first major speech since being picked up as the Republican vice presidential candidate. In the biggest speech of his young political career, J.D. Vance accepted his party's nomination for vice president, former President Trump. Vance also said U.S. paid the price for President Joe Biden's poor policies.
When I was a sophomore in high school, that same career politician named Joe Biden gave China a sweetheart trade deal that destroyed even more good American middle-class manufacturing jobs. When I was a senior in high school, that same Joe Biden supported the disastrous invasion of Iraq, and at each step of the way, in small towns like mine in Ohio or next door in Pennsylvania or
Hundreds of Israelis protested in Tel Aviv on Wednesday, demanding that the Prime Minister close the deal and immediately explain his recent public statement where he said that the hostages are suffering but not dying. An Israeli delegation has arrived in Egypt to continue the ceasefire talks as Israel and Hamas consider the latest proposal. International mediators continue to push Israel and Hamas towards a phased deal that would halt the fighting and free about 120 hostages still held by the militant group in Gaza. Germany is planning to nearly half military aid for Ukraine next year, according to a draft budget approved by the government. Germany is Ukraine's second biggest military donor after the United States. The planned aid cut comes amid fears in Ukraine and among its European allies that the US funds could be slashed or even stopped if Donald Trump wins the presidency in November's elections. Russia-Ukraine war has been going on since February 2022. The streets of Dubrovnik's old town were bustling with tourists despite blistering heat. Croatia reported the highest ever temperatures of the Adriatic Sea, with the thermometer reaching nearly 30 degrees Celsius in the southern walled city of Dubrovnik, the country's most popular tourism spot. Thousands of tourists looked for any shade to hide from the blazing sun while exploring the city.
Minister Narendra Modi is all set to hold a crucial meeting today in the evening at the BJP headquarters with the BJP workers, and this is quite significant ahead of the UP by polls and the assembly elections in Maharashtra and Haryana this very year. Stay tuned, viewers. We will get you all the details and the rolling coverage will continue on this.
Supreme Court pulls up NTA over NEET 2024. NTA asked to declare NEET results. All this and more on This Is Exclusive at 7 p.m. today.
In the global employability rankings by Times Higher Education UK, only the following 6 institutions from India are ranked amongst the top 230 in the world for having the most employable graduates: IIT Delhi, IISc Bangalore, IIT Bombay, IIM Ahmedabad, IIT Kharagpur and Amity University.
The U.S. Secret Service, along with its federal, state, and local law enforcement and public safety partners, work together to design security plans for national special security events.
officers observed a subject armed with a knife in each hand engaged in an altercation with another unarmed individual. The officers identified themselves as police officers and made several commands to the suspect to drop the knife. The subject refused these commands and charged at the
and the continuing humanitarian crisis.
India has reiterated its call for an immediate and complete ceasefire in the Gaza Strip at the United Nations.
It has been 9 months since the Israel-Hamas conflict, and the continuing humanitarian crisis is deeply concerning. India was among the countries which strongly and unequivocally condemned the terror attacks on Israel on 7th October 2023. We reiterate the call for an immediate, full and complete ceasefire, safe, timely and sustained humanitarian assistance and unrestricted access to relief and essential humanitarian services in the Gaza Strip. In addition, we also call for immediate and unconditional release of all hostages. Towards this end, we appreciate the role played by countries in the region, particularly Qatar and Egypt. Our leadership has continued to engage with the leadership of both Israel and Palestine. We have consistently reiterated our position in all the relevant multilateral fora.
In a 6-hour operation, 12 Naxals were killed in Maharashtra's Gadchiroli district. The operation was initiated following intelligence about nearly 15 Naxals camping near Vandoli village close to the Chhattisgarh border. Intense gunfire ensued in the afternoon and continued intermittently for over 6 hours, culminating in the exchange of fire. During the operation, a sub-inspector and a Jawan sustained bullet injuries but have been evacuated to Nagpur for treatment and are reported to be stable. Authorities have recovered bodies of 12 Maoists and seized 7 automatic weapons including AK-47s, INSAS rifles, a carbine and an SLR. Investigations are ongoing to gather further details about the incident and its implications for security in the area.
Welcome to This is Exclusive, and we begin today, viewers, with a story on NEET yet again. It's the Supreme Court that's going to be looking at the results. It's the Supreme Court that has today marked the admission that came that yes, there has been leaks in 2 cities, in Patna and in other cities. And the bigger question, what's going to happen to the future of 23 lakh students, out of which 1,08,000 had been chosen to be having passed this exam? As students continue crying in the lawns of the Supreme Court today and they demand justice, and the Supreme Court has now given out directions. First up, a look at our top headlines and our top story, and focus on NEET. The Supreme Court directs NTA to declare results of NEET UG 2024 by 12 p.m. noon on Saturday. CBI arrests 4 MBBS students of AIIMS Patna in connection with NEET UG paper leak case. 6-hour-long operation results in 12 Maoists being neutralized, several automatic weapons recovered. After Srinagar and Darbhanga, Palestinian flags raised in Bengal's Murshidabad. And US President Biden tests positive for COVID-19 while traveling in Vegas. Biden to self-isolate in Delaware residence. Viewers, the Supreme Court directed the National Testing Agency that the results should be declared city-wise and centre-wise, masking the identity of the candidates to protect them. The results are mandated to be released by 12 noon on 20th of July. The NEET UG paper leak case has now been listed for next hearing on Monday. The hearing on petitions that are seeking to cancel the NEET UG 2024 test held on May 5th over alleged paper leak and malpractices comes amid country-wide furor by students who are considered to be the most impacted because of the alleged irregularities on 24 lakh medical aspirants of the country.
The future of nearly 24 lakh medical aspirants in the country continues to be vague. The Supreme Court on Thursday heard petitions seeking to cancel the NEET UG 2024 test held on the 5th of May over alleged paper leak and malpractices.
Is actually a mass manipulation, whether there has been a mass leak, and there have been several evidences that are coming out. There are arguments in which this has been very specifically mentioned that in Bihar, in Delhi, in Jaipur, in Gonda, all these places there has been a nexus that has been working regarding the paper leak that has been happening. NTA putting its stand very clean, very clear that there has been no systemic failure. But on the other hand, the petitioners, the lawyer, who is appearing for the petitioners, he is also arguing quite strictly that there are multiple evidences that the paper leak has happened in mass scale.
The hearing comes after the centre and the NTA previously opposed the demand for a retest by saying that the malpractices are localised. The authorities vouch that alleged irregularities have not affected the sanctity of the entire exam. However, medical aspirants do not hold a similar opinion.
क्या मांग है सुप्रीम कोर्ट से? रीनीट तो आप कह रहे हैं, पर सुप्रीम कोर्ट अभी भी पूछ रहा है कि मास मैल प्रैक्टिसेस हुई थी, उसके एविडेंसेस मांग रहा है.
देखिए मैम, मैल प्रैक्टिसेस तो हुई हैं. एनटीए कहता है जो रजिस्ट्रेशन विंडो ओपन हुई थी 9-10 तारीख को, उस तारीख को उसने एनटीए ने कहा कि 15,000 स्टूडेंट्स ने रजिस्टर्ड किया, बट एक्चुअल डाटा है 24,246 बच्चे. तो एनटीए ने रॉन्ग डाटा दिया है. उस चीज़ को हम वेरीफाई कराने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. अगर वो ठीक होता तो एनटीए रॉन्ग प्रूव है ऑलरेडी, और एनटीए ने 15,000 का, ये हमें भी पता रॉन्ग प्रूव है. और हम उम्मीद करते हैं कि जो एनटीए है ना, वो इतना झूठ ना बोले कि 24 लाख बच्चों के फ्यूचर के साथ खिलवाड़ हो. हम उम्मीद करते हैं गवर्नमेंट से भी और सीजीआई सर से भी कि हमारे साथ जस्टिस हो, और इसी चीज़ पर हम उम्मीद लगाए बैठे हैं सारे स्टूडेंट.
Amid the furor, the top court pulled up the testing agency on Thursday. The NTA has been directed to release state-wise and city-wise results on its website. In a respite for the medical aspirants, the top court has ordered the NTA to mask the identity of the students.
आपसे पूछूंगी, अभी जो चल रहा है, एनटीए कह रहा है कि सिस्टमिक फेलियर नहीं है, क्या कहेंगे आप?
तो एनटीए की इतनी सारी गलतियां क्यों सामने आ रही हैं? ग्रेस मार्क देना पड़ रहा है, सब कुछ करना पड़ रहा है. फेलियर तो कहीं ना कहीं है. अगर फेलियर नहीं था तो फिर टाइम लॉस हो कैसे गया? अगर फेलियर नहीं है तो झज्जर में दूसरा सेट कैसे पहुंच गया?
The NTA has been asked to release the detailed results by Saturday noon. The court also said that the retest would be the extreme last resort. The top court has listed the matter for hearing on the 22nd of July as the future of lakhs of medical aspirants continues to be in the grey.
Viewers, I'm now joined by NEET UG aspirants. I have Mayank Kumar, who's joining me, and Anurag Mishra, NEET UG aspirant, who's joining me. I go across to Anurag today. Anurag, I really want to ask you the first question here. The several arguments have been made by the NTA in the Supreme Court today, but the Supreme Court has clearly stated that we want certain details of what's been happening. It's a very detailed hearing in the Supreme Court where they directed them. Results have to be declared city-wise and centre-wise, but masking the identity of the candidates. One of the questions that has been asked to the NDA is, how many fresh candidates for government colleges were there? How did NDA allow 15,000 new registrations? If you heard the Supreme Court hearing, are you hopeful now that possibly this NEET mess that has been created by NTA could come to some sort of a conclusion?
So I was there in the court and hearing all the petitions and all those arguments going on. So I noticed the arguments made by NTA and Solicitor General. They were like in continuous denial mode that there has, the paper leak has not been proven. The point that was put forth by the Solicitor General was that paper leak wasn't happened, there is a breach. And the time was around 8:30 that they stated. But there is like a lot of doubt. If I want to draw your attention towards that report that was put forth by Economic Offence Unit Bihar. See, Economic Offence Unit Bihar directly states that the custody chain of custody has been destroyed. I mean, the paper was made available to the students one night before. So how can Solicitor General or NTA state statements like that the leak hasn't happened?
Anurag, personally speaking, how has this impacted you? What were your marks? What were you hoping for? What was your center?
Madam, I scored 655 marks out of 720 and my rank is 25,039. See, when I came to home from the examination day and I calculated marks, I calculated 655 marks and I told my parents. They were very happy. But on the result day when I saw my rank, this was literally very, very, very disgusting for me when I saw my rank to be 25,039. Now I am in that situation that I will not get a college that I deserve.
Okay, so this is the pathos that is coming from students who were there. Mayank, I also want to get a word in from you. We saw the Supreme Court very clearly asking very pointed questions, Mayank, to the NTA today, and they'll have to answer. Any center change after fresh registration was asked. Any region-wise data of student change centers was asked to by the Supreme Court. Any data for students changing centers? How many grace mark students were toppers? A very crucial question that was asked. And first, show us how the leak is systematic. Mayank, first tell us about your personal struggle here. Were you in the court? Are you happy with the progress that the court hearing is making? And is this making sense to the lakhs and lakhs of NEET students and aspirants?
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, Mayank, go ahead.
Yes, my name is Mayank and I'm a NEET aspirant. I have scored 670 marks and my rank is approximately 14,000 plus, approximately. And I heard the trial today. And I think the data that Supreme Court asked for NTA to provide will bring some clarity to the situation, but it is not going to follow everything. The depth of this scam is, I think, it cannot be solved just by the data that Supreme Court is asking for. And then my struggle is so that it's scam जितने भी स्टूडेंट्स हैं 24 लाख उन सबका स्ट्रगल है और ये ऐसे डेट बढ़ाते जा रहे हैं इससे भी काफी लोगों को टेंशन हो रहा है कि अब कब तक हमारा क्या होगा काउंसलिंग भी स्टार्ट होने वाली है तो काउंसलिंग पे फोकस करें कि अब री एग्जाम देखें तो अभी काफी ज्यादा इसकी भी टेंशन हो रही है और जैसे कि इन्होंने भी बताया कि जब 650 वाले मार्क्स के स्टूडेंट्स और 660 वाले मार्क्स के स्टूडेंट्स हैं उनको भी काफी दिक्कत हो रही है like they were expecting a good medical college, top medical college, but now they are not getting any good college.
I also want to bring to our viewers the details that are coming in and the Supreme Court having said and an admission being made there was wrongdoing that was there. And I want to go across to breaking news on the story. The CBI has arrested 4 MBBS students of AIIMS Patna in connection with NEET UG paper leak case. This is the latest information coming in as the Supreme Court is going into understanding what sort of misdoings were there. The CBI has arrested 4 more MBBS students of AIIMS Patna in connection with the NEET UG paper leak case. Viewers, remember the Supreme Court also today said it seems that there was wrongdoing in Patna and Hazaribagh. They've said there was wrongdoing, however, it seems limited. We're seeing pictures in the Supreme Court lawns also today that happened, and now protests that broke out in several parts earlier. The NEET storm now in the top court that will hear the case now again on Monday. The Supreme Court today directs the NTA to publish the marks obtained by students in the NEET UG 24 exam while ensuring the identity is masked. But the big breaking news, the investigation continues in the leak of the NEET papers. CBI arrests 4 more MBBS students in Patna. I'm trying to go across to Prakash. Prakash, if you can give us more details. The CBI also tightening the noose on people who were at the part of this culpability. 4 more MBBS students have been arrested.
4 doctors from Patna have been arrested for turning to the question paper leak. They were said to be a part of the question paper solver gang, and they were detained today morning for interrogation by the CBI officials, and they were picked up from the AIMS campus in Patna. The 4 doctors who have been identified are Karan Jain, Kumar Sanu, Rahul Anand and Chandan Singh, who were a part of the problem solvers gang. Remember, Patna becoming the epicenter of the NEET paper leak, and the paper reached out from Hazaribagh to Patna, and thereafter the syndicate was operating, where initially 13 people were arrested by the Patna police, and later on the CBI, as and when it took over the case, several people have been arrested. Now, when things are moving thick and fast, there's a lot of people being arrested.
All right. Thank you, Prakash, for giving us the details. I want to go back to Anurag and Mayank and NEET aspirants who continue to be with us. Anurag, I also want to come back once again to you. You told us about the details of what the NTA through the Solicitor General was stating in the courtroom. But do you now think that the Supreme Court is going to only limit this to what's been said in 2 places where wrongdoing has been found, or do you think a larger perspective overhaul will be taken?
See, when it comes about Chief Justice of India, he's an intelligent guy, so I believe in him. And the thing is, like the irregularities which we have literally found in Hazaribagh and Patna, in my personal opinion, in this world of social media where communication is so much fast, like you cannot say that the paper leak is confined to a specific place. I am not saying that it's very, very vast, but it is somehow in that level that we cannot trace it.
All right, thank you for those details, and I hope that both of you do get personally into your dream colleges, and this is something we'll continue investigating, following right here on Republic TV. Thank you for being with us. Viewers, I now want to move on to a big breaking news that's coming from Assam. Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma has announced the Assam cabinet today has decided to repeal the Assam Muslim Marriage and Divorce Registration Act and rules by the Assam repealing bill. Viewers, I want to go into details of what's happened, but first let me tell you, it's a big move being made in the state of Assam, where the Chief Minister has announced the Assam cabinet will be repealing the Assam Muslim Marriages and Divorce Registration Act and rules. We're going to try and get reactions from the BJP, the opposition, from lawyers on this. What does this really mean? It means that the Assam Chief Minister has been clear about UCC. A very important decision has therefore been taken to repeal the Muslim Marriage Act. Muslim marriages and divorces will no longer be registered under this act. All the marriages will be registered under the Special Marriage Act. Let me go across to Anirudh, who's joining us live from Guwahati. Anirudh, give us the details about when this act had been repealed. What are the implications for this? And this is a very clear message that Assam Chief Minister is going and giving and stating that it's time for UCC in India.
As per the Assam repealing bill has been approved, and the state government has decided to repeal the Assam Muslim Marriages and Divorce Registration Act of 1935 and the Assam Muslim Marriages and Divorce Registration Rules of 1935, and in accordance to this, the cabinet have today approved the Assam repealing bill of 2024 to be tabled, and this bill, the Assam repealing bill 2024, will be tabled in the next session of the Assam Legislative Assembly, which is expected to commence in the month of August. And in August, the state government has decided to repeal both the Assam Muslim Marriage and Divorce Registration Act of 1935 as well as the Assam Muslim marriage and divorce registration rules of 1935 in order to repeal both these acts and the act and the rules of 1935 pertaining to the Assam Muslim marriage and divorce registration. The state government, the cabinet has today approved the Assam repealing bill 2024, which will be tabled in the next monsoon session of the Assam Legislative Assembly. This is a big move coming in as far as the child marriage is concerned, the UCC is concerned. In fact, Assam Chief Minister Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma has said that this move will make a bolder step towards stopping child marriages in the state of Assam. Studio.
I want more details, Anirudh, to understand for our viewers what's really happened. And viewers, I'm going to explain this in great detail. It's a very significant step that's coming in because ahead of UCC, Assam has decided to repeal Muslim marriages. What does this mean for India? It means it's time for one nation, one law. The state cabinet met late night. They approved the Assam repealing ordinance, and finally it has been repealed. The British era Marriage and Divorce Act that was specific to Muslims has been repealed now. They've decided to repeal this, and they met, they've spoken about this. What are the reasons? Because they believe the state is heading towards UCC. They've been very clear, so it's an important decision. They will no longer be registered under the Special Marriage Act. They believe it was an obsolete pre-independence act that has lost its relevance today. They've also said it will be a big step towards child marriages being abolished in the country. Now, also when these details are coming in, we want to tell our viewers that this is one of the Himanta Biswa Sharma calling a spade, having walked the talk. Assam Chief Minister, big move, has now stated that Assam cabinet will be repealing and has repealed the Assam Muslim Marriage and Divorce Registration Act. Because this was something that was on the cards, but now that they've approved this, they've stated that this is going to happen. What is the key? This is one of the key steps they've said that is going to stop child marriages, but this is also going to be a big step towards UCC. It's our big focus. We'll continue tracking, viewers, but we're also going to be moving across to the neutralization of Naxals that happened in the Gadchiroli encounter today. Much more on that after a short break. Stay on with us as we get you more details of the operation and how our intelligence and brave hearts ensured that the Naxals were neutralized.
The Republic Media Network is very proud to partner with Kitply, a well-known name in the Indian plywood industry, which has just launched Kitply BioBond, a product that helps you breathe better and live better.
The U.S. Secret Service, along with its federal, state, and local law enforcement and public safety partners, work together to design security plans for national special security events.
officers observed a subject armed with a knife in each hand engaged in an altercation with another unarmed individual. The officers identified themselves as police officers and made several commands to the suspect to drop the knife. The subject refused these commands and charged at the other individual with the knives. At this time, several officers discharged their firearms, subsequently striking the suspect. This is a situation where somebody's life was in immediate danger. Again, 2 knives were recovered from this particular situation. Someone's life was in danger. These officers, who are not from this area, took upon themselves to act to save someone's life today.
Viewers, our top focus, a 6-hour-long operation in Maharashtra's Gadchiroli district bordering Chhattisgarh resulted in the death and neutralization of 12 Maoists. Several automatic weapons have been recovered in the fierce forest battle. The operation followed a reliable intelligence input that around 12 to 15 Maoists were camping in the village. For more details about the operation and how it happened and how our brave hearts won, I want to go across to my colleague Akil, who's joining us. Akil, give us details about what all has been found, but more details about how this operation had been conducted.
Well, absolutely, Rhythm. If you see what happened, that yesterday early morning around 6 a.m., that Gadchiroli SP has got some intelligence input saying that there were 15 to 16 Naxals who were in that Gadchiroli region. And after that, he planned to send the forces over there, and 200 police personnel was sent at that very point in time. And while I was speaking to the SP, he was saying that if we could have got late, even by 1 hour, then we would have missed that chance. But we acted upon those input at that time itself. And when we reached at that time, it was raining. And at that time, what happened that the Naxals, the Maoists, they didn't anticipate that that the police force could come anytime soon. So what happened that they found out themselves at that point of time, and then several rounds, not only while we were speaking to the senior police official, they have said that approximately 2,000 rounds were fired in that entire incident, which took 120.
And we're first cutting across to visuals that are coming in from the BJP headquarters, where Prime Minister Modi is now currently going. That's the cavalcade of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. I'll also try to go across to our colleague Abhishek to get more details. We can see JP Nadda there welcoming Prime Minister Modi at the BJP headquarters, where he's currently going. And if we can also have Abhishek. Abhishek, what is going to be discussed at the BJP headquarters? I'm also going to tell you Prime Minister Modi there at the BJP headquarters being welcomed by JP Nadda as we are speaking. Several things on the cards, remember. It's before. All right, Abhishek, what's really on the cards, Prime Minister Modi at the BJP headquarters?
Well, so this is almost like a tradition now, Rhythm, that Prime Minister, after every election, visits the BJP headquarters twice. Once, of course, to take the greetings from the crowd which gathers to congratulate him after the victory. And then, of course, he goes and meets the BJP workers and the people who man the office of the BJP, as in the BJP headquarters, about 50 odd of those people who are there round the year, round the clock, managing the headquarters, and he effectively engages with them, he speaks to them. It's likely that he might make a short speech, we are told, and essentially a thank you note to the BJP workers who slog all the year round and all the 5 years so that the party runs smoothly, even as many of those leaders take care of the party from the government, or take care of the government while in the cabinet. There in the pictures, Prime Minister being received by Party President JP Nadda. Remember, the BJP is in a flux, in a state of transition. In fact, Party President Nadda happens to be on an extension, and it's likely that by the end of the year, we will have a new president. And in fact, not just the national president, but the entire party machinery from district level upwards to the national committee, everyone changes, including the party president, the state party presidents, and the district presidents, etc. So a lot of churn going on in the party. In fact, we have seen not a very positive development happening insofar as the infighting that's broken out in Uttar Pradesh unit of the BJP, for example. Of course, some angst getting reflected with the reduced number of seats, making some leaders jittery about what happens going forward. So everyone would be looking forward to listening to the Prime Minister as he engages with the party workers. There might be signaling on how he sees the party going forward, how to draw strength from the fact that for the third time, the BJP has come back to power, and this is happening for first time after a gap of 60 years in India's democracy. Prime Minister there now walking inside the headquarters, and in a bit we are going to see him engaging with the party workers. As I said, these are not party workers, these are essentially those of the BJP who take care of the BJP headquarters at the 6th Deen Dayal Upadhyay Marg. I'm told Riyanka is joining us live from BJP, from where the Prime Minister's visit is happening at the BJP headquarters. Riyanka, over to you. Who all are going to be present when the Prime Minister engages with these party workers who essentially take care of the party headquarters for all the year round and all the 5 years that the party is in power or has been in power over the last decade?
Absolutely. These are, of course, the party workers here where the Prime Minister is meeting with. Around 100 to 150 party workers are present here at the BJP headquarters at the DDU Marg. And we just saw Prime Minister being welcomed by JP Nadda with a flower. And they then walked inside the headquarters, and around 100 to 150 party workers will be addressed by the Prime Minister. And well, these workers are those who have worked very hard for the last 5 years. These workers are those who have in fact worked very hard for the last 3 months during the elections, and they have put in their night and day 24 hours. So this is after the victory of the NDA, of the BJP, that the Prime Minister is holding the meeting with the ground level workers, and this is to initiate a more motivation into the minds of these workers who have been putting their full hard work and full force into picking up